Hello, dear students. Welcome into the fourth lecture on cosmetics. In the previous lecture, we have studied study of cosmetic product, that is lipstick. Myself, Mangesh Shankar Bale. I am working as an assistant professor at Gokhale Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, Chawar. So, in this video lecture, we are going to study the last cosmetic product, that is deodorants and antiperspirants. Okay, all of you know deodorant and antiperspirant because of many of the people might be use these deodorants and antiperspirants, right? For that, first we will see what is deodorant and what is antiperspirants. Deodorants and antiperspirants. A deodorant is a substance applied to the body to prevent body odor caused by the bacterial breakdown of perspiration in armpits, tail, and other areas of the body. See, due to the some practical breakdown, our body release sweat and bad smell. Okay, to prevent that, here we are using a deodorant. A subgroup of deodorants antiperspirants affect odor as well as prevent sweating by affecting sweat glands. See, from our body, sweat gland release what? The sweat, right? That sweat create the bad smell from our body. To prevent that bad smell, here we are going to use deodorant and antiperspirant. Now antiperspirant is typically applied to the underarms, while deodorants may also be used on feet and other areas in the form of body sprays. Now we will see the constituents, or sorry, properties of deodorants. First property, they do not arrest perspiration. Their action depends upon antiseptic or bactericidal effect. They need not necessarily have antiperspirant action. The possibility of skin damage is very less. That means when we apply this deodorant on our skin, there is no possibility to damage skin. Substances having antiseptic or bactericidal action are commonly used in deodorant. Example, diacetone. That means, see, other than prevention of the bad smell, they have antiseptic or bactericidal property also present into the deodorant. For that, example will be diacetone. That means that diacetone also mix with the deodorant to to cure, or we can say to avoid antiseptic or bacterial any kind of growth on our body. Now we will see properties of antiperspirant, just like deodorant. First one, astringent in the product, reduce the sweat gland, release sweat from our skin, that will be reduces. Their action depends on coagulation effect on skin proteins. Most of them act as a deodorant. They sometimes cause skin irritation and rashes. That means sometimes when we apply antiperspirant on our body, we create irritation and rashes on our skin. Aluminum salts, mainly aluminum chlorohydrate, having good astringent property, are used. Now we will see constituents of deodorants. Gorgum, first one. Second, glycerol, sandalwood essential oil. Fourth one, patchouli. Fifth one, purified water, vegetable glycerin. Seventh one, lavender. Eight, purified water is an active. See, purified water just we have seen above also. It will be the active absorber, and when it comes into contact with air, it absorbs carbon dioxide, making it acidic. See, these are the eight constituent. Other than these eight, there are also many constituents. Now, ninth number, that will be the vegetable glycerin, can be added to many products to increase moisturizing qualities. 10th, glycerol stearate is a free smooth white powder with odor and taste. 11. Purified water is an active absorber, and when it contact with air, it absorbs carbon dioxide, making it acidic. Now, 12th one, vegetable glycerin can be added to many products to increase moisturizing qualities. 13. Glycerol stearate is a free, smooth white with odor and comes into taste. Patchouli is fresh oil highly valued for skin care, whether cracked, dry, or mature. Sandalwood essential oil is used for perfumery, cosmetics, and aromatherapy. Okay, and last one will be the lavender is fentical as well as moisturizing to skin. So these are the constituents of the what deodorant. Now we will see the constituents of the antiperspirant. First, aluminum. First, aluminum will be the constituent. Aluminum based compounds are the most widely used active antiperspirant ingredients because they effectively plug up sweat ducts to temporarily stop the flow of moisture to the skin. Over the counter clinical strain, antiperspirants contain higher concentration of aluminum. See, aluminum material will be play very important role into the antiperspirant. Now, second one, parabens. These preservatives helps to keep cosmetic products free of bacteria. Most major brands of antiperspirants are parabens free these days, through the preservative is still found in some products such as makeup, moisturizers, shaving products, and hair products. See, this paraben main purpose will be what? Which is used as a preservative in cosmetic product, right? And that will be bacteria free. That means when we use this paraben into the antiperspirant, that will not growing the bacteria. Most there are, which is also used in various product, in that makeup type of product, moisturizing lotions, shaving products, and hair products. Now, fragrance. See, perfumes are often used in antiperspirants and antiperspirant deodorant combos to mask body odor. See, in the combo form, the antiperspirants and deodorant also applied to prevent, or you can say to prevent the body odor. Plus, studies suggest we associate pleasant fragrances with feelings of cleanliness. Now, fourth one will be the emollient oil. This emollient oil, without some sort of moisturizers like castor, mineral, or sunflower oil, mixed into antiperspirant ingredients, the product would not roll or glide on smoothly. These emollient also keep the product flaking once it dries on our skin. Now, fifth one, alcohol. Aluminum compounds and other active antiperspirant ingredients are often dissolved in alcohol because it dries quickly and feel cool when applied to skin. Alcohol is typically found in rolls on and aerosols as well as some gels, right? So this is the fifth number, that is alcohol. Now next one will be the PEG diastereates. Sixth number, seventh, butylated hydroxytoluene, that is BHT, and last talcum powder. See, these are the total 8 ingredients or constituent present into the antiperspirant. Now we will see PEG diastereates, that is polyethylene glycol, that is PEG diastereates are emulsifying agents found in many cosmetic products, including antiperspirants. These antiperspirant ingredient makes it easier to wash off the product. Now, butylated hydroxytoluene, that is BHT. BHT prevents or slows the deterioration of antiperspirant ingredients once they are exposed to oxygen. And last one will be the talcum powder. Talcum powder absorbs moisture and oil, protects the skin by reducing underarm friction and chafing, and helps skin feel dry. So these are total 8 constituent of the antiperspirant. Now we will see last part of this topic, that is estimation of zinc by gravimetry. See, gravimetrically we can estimate zinc from the deodorant and antiperspirant. Okay, first we will see the procedure, then calculation, how to calculate amount of zinc. Okay, initially what we are going to do, take a suitable aliquot of sample containing 20 to 50 milligram in a 100 ml beaker. शुरू में क्या करना है, हमें 20 या 50 मिलीग्राम का सैंपल हमें लेना है डिओड्रेंट और एंटीपर्स्पिरेंट 100 ml beaker में. ओके, देन सेकंड, make it slightly acidic. Okay, that means above mixture to make acidic, add 1 gram ammonium tartrate if aluminum is present, and 2 ml of 8 hydroxyquinoline per 10 milligram of zinc. See, according to the zinc content, here we are going to add 2 ml of 8 hydroxyquinoline. That means for 10 milligram of zinc we can approximately of 10 milligram of zinc we can add 2 ml of 8 hydroxyquinoline. Okay, now third, dilute to 200 ml and heat to 60 to 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, total volume of above mixture will be 200 ml, and after that we are going to heat that entire 200 ml solution above 60 to 80 degree Celsius. Neutralize excess of acid by slowly adding sodium hydroxide till zinc complexes that forms on addition of each drop. Fifth one, add 15 ml CH3COO NH4. Let the mixture come to room temperature. That means after addition of 15 ml of ammonium acetate, then we have to cool that mixture to room temperature. Adjust the pH 5.7 to 5.9 with the help of pH paper. Right now, decant through weigh gauge crucible. Actually, when we maintain pH, the precipitate of the zinc complex will be produces, right? Then the mixture we have to decant into the previously weigh, पहले से वेट किया हुआ गूज क्रूसिबल में हमें उसको डिकैंट करना है. ठीक है, देन 8 नंबर, wash precipitate twice with hot water, distilled water. Okay, after washing the precipitate, dry ppt. That means after washing twice the precipitate we have to dry the precipitate, that means zinc complex, right? And crucible for 2 4 hours 130 to 140 degrees Celsius. That means after drying the precipitate we have to transfer into the again crucible, right? And heat that crucible 2 hours on temperature of what, 130 to 140 degree Celsius, right? Cool and weigh After that, cool the crucible along with precipitate and weigh. Repeat till constant weight. That means suppose weight will be decreases, again we have to heat that precipitate into the crucible upward till when we get the constant weight of the precipitate. Okay, then we can calculate weight of ppt. Whatever constant weight we are getting, that weight into 0.1712, which is gives weight of the zinc. Okay, in this way we can find out the amount of zinc that will be present into the either deodorant or antiperspirant. Okay, here this topic number second from the unit number third, introduction to food chemistry and cosmetic, we have completed here second topic, that is cosmetic. From the next lecture we are going to start the food chemistry. Thank you.